Life can feel like a prison sometimes, like you're just digging the same hole every day, stuck in a cycle, watching other people move forward while you feel trapped. Maybe you felt that before. Maybe you feel it right now. Like no matter how much you want to break free, there's this invisible wall keeping you underground. Fear, self-doubt, expectations. You convince yourself this is just how life is. That was me before I watched Gurren Lagann. And if you ever felt like that, if you ever felt like the world is just too big, too impossible, too unfair for you to ever climb out, then this anime is for you. Because Gurren Lagann is a story about breaking free. It's about finding the strength to push forward, even when everything in the world tells you to sit back down. And it all starts with Simone and Kamina.
You dumbass! Kick logic out and do the impossible! Remember that. That's the way Team Gurren rolls! Right, I'll try.
Simone is just a kid. Small, quiet, unsure of himself. He spent his whole life digging tunnels in an underground village, following orders, keeping his head down, too afraid to look up. And then there's Kamina. Loud, reckless, borderline insane, but unlike everyone else in their village, he refuses to accept life as it is. Kamina looks at the ceiling of their underground world and doesn't see the sky they'll never reach. He sees a challenge. And that's what makes their bond so powerful. Simone looks at himself and sees nothing special, but Kamina looks at Simone and sees limitless potential. Even when Simone doubts himself, Kamina never does. And when a massive mech comes crashing through their underground world, everything changes. The entire village is panicking. Their so-called safe world is falling apart, but in the middle of the chaos, Simone finds something buried beneath the earth. A tiny drill-shaped mech. His mech. And even though Simone is scared, even though he doesn't think he can do anything, Kamina is there, shouting at him to fight back.
You dumbass! Kick logic out and do the impossible! Remember that. That's the way Team Gurren rolls!
And in that moment, Simone fights. He pilots the mech, he destroys the enemy, and for the first time in his life, he sees the sky. Yeah, they're giant robots, yeah, they're insane battles, but Gurren Lagann isn't about that. It's about limitless potential. The show is built on one idea. You can always push further. Every time Simone and the crew hit an obstacle, they break through it, literally and metaphorically. The concept of spiral power isn't just a cool anime energy source, it's a metaphor for human will. The more you believe in yourself, the stronger you become. And the show keeps escalating because that's what growth looks like. They start fighting in underground tunnels, then they fight in giant mechs, then they're leading a revolution, then they're fighting in space, then they're fighting against the very laws of the universe itself, and the crazy part, it never feels ridiculous. It always feels earned. Because Gurren Lagann isn't about getting stronger, it's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. For the first half of the series, Kamina is the driving force. He's the one pushing Simone forward. He's the one making you believe that nothing is impossible, and then he's gone. If you've seen the show, you know. If you haven't, I won't spoil it, but when that moment happens, it feels like the floor has been ripped out from under you. Because suddenly, there's no one left to believe in Simone but Simone himself. And what does he do? At first he falls apart because that's real. That's what it's like to lose someone who's carried you forward. But then, piece by piece he rebuilds himself. And that's when you realize, Kamina's role in the story was never about being the strongest. It was about lighting the fire in Simone. So that when the time came, Simone couldn't stand on his own. Gurren Lagann wasn't just an anime. It was a lesson in life. Because there have been times where I felt like Simone at the start of the show. Times where I felt small. Times where I thought I didn't have what it takes to reach the surface, let alone break past my limits. But then I think about Kamina. And I think about his belief. Not just in himself, but in the people around him. In Simone. In me. In all of us. It sounds ridiculous until you feel it. Until you realize that your dreams, your goals, your future, they're only as impossible as you let them be. This anime drilled that into my head. Literally. Because I'm Simone, and you're Simone. We all have a drill. And as long as we keep pushing forward, as long as we refuse to back down, we can break through anything. So if you're ever doubting yourself, if you ever feel like life is trying to bury you, remember this. Your drill is a drill that will pierce the heavens. Believe in yourself and keep moving forward. There is nothing like Gurren Lagann. It's not just an anime, it's a philosophy. It's about learning that you are capable of more than you think. It's about pushing through limits, not because you have to, but because you can. And most importantly, it's about knowing that the only person who can decide your future is you. So if you haven't watched Gurren Lagann yet, what are you doing? Go watch it. I'll see you next time. Ditto out.
Yeah, but they're worthy opponents. I'll use the fabric of space-time to wring them out of existence!
All right, prepare the Maelstrom Cannon! Target the Great Dimensional Waterfall!
Gurren Lagann! Spin on! Who the hell do you think I am?